A train loaded with Russian wheat has arrived in Armenia via Azerbaijan. To greet the cargo, Minister of Economy Evocabank arrived at Erim station.
A historic event took place a few minutes ago. For the first time, after an almost 3.5-decade break, cargo arrived in the Republic of Armenia by railway through Azerbaijan's territory, specifically 15 freight cars. 1,000 tons of wheat of Russian origin, arrived in the Republic of Armenia, having passed through the territories of Azerbaijan and Georgia by railway.
The Russian Ministry of Transport confirmed that this is not a one-time deal. An additional 132 wagons of wheat are planned to be delivered to Armenia via this route by January 2026. Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Overchuk also reacted to the event.
The new road strengthens Russia's transport connection with the countries of the region, increases the accessibility of Armenian markets for goods coming from other member states of the Eurasian Economic Union, and improves the accessibility of that union's markets for Armenian producers. It is symbolic that the first cargo passing through this route was Russian grain, one of the most important symbols of life and creation, which once again emphasizes the general aspiration to establish peace in the South Caucasus, to transition from conflict to cooperation.
The Prime Minister also addressed the event at the highest level. He viewed this development not only from a logistical, but also a strategic perspective, linking it to regional processes.
We understand, don't we, how many trucks 130 wagons represent? I welcome and want to welcome that this fully corresponds to our ideas about developments after August 8th. This is merely a political card given to Nikol Pashinyan, and consequently, taking all this into account, we can, of course, talk and discuss the economic part, but there are so many gaps there. People don't publish numbers. They don't take into account that Kazakhstan itself is part of the Turkic world, a Turkic-speaking state, completely under Turkey's influence.
Critics argue that this process cannot be viewed purely within an economic logic.
Any economic relationship has a political context. When they recognized Artsakh as part of Azerbaijan and lost those territories as a result of their governance, for example, they should be honest and say how much wheat and at what price used to come to Armenia from those territories, which is not happening now.
The railway passes through Azerbaijan's territory, then Georgia, and from there to Armenia. In an interview with public television, Papoyan noted the economic advantages of this new logistical route as an alternative to the Upper Lars Highway, which is both expensive and often problematic due to traffic jams and other issues. Essentially, this is Russian wheat that came from Russia to Azerbaijan, and since Armenia and Azerbaijan currently do not have direct railway communication, it went to Georgia and from Georgia to Armenia. When the trip road opens, meaning we have communication through Megri, then in that case, it would be Russia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, again Azerbaijan, because Nakhichevan comes, and then again Armenia. The Economist notes that as long as political issues between the two states are not resolved, economic relations can serve as a tool for political manipulation.
Until political issues between the two states are resolved, economic ones usually serve as short-term and certain political manipulative tools. Clear examples are the Russian-Ukrainian war, and in that context, for example, they temporarily allowed Ukrainian wheat to be exported through Turkey's mediation, right?
The governance specialist also has concerns about the transparency of information.
We don't even know who the importer of the grain is, do we? Is it the state or a private organization? That is, it is not excluded that they might take another, for example, populist and manipulative step and, for instance, subsidize it from the state budget, artificially lower its price and show that, look, this was cheaper than what came before. That is, there are 1,001 things.
Minister Papoyan also stated that Kazakh wheat would arrive via the same route soon. However, when asked whether all this would lead to a decrease in the price of bread, the minister did not give a definitive answer.
Why I will not say that the price will unequivocally decrease by this percentage is because it depends on various circumstances. The cost of wheat is only one part of the price of bread. There's electricity, transportation, logistics, exchange rates, and so on. There are many circumstances. These logistics issues must first, I say, security issues, political issues, all these risks, they all turn into costs in any case. And here, as I already said, in my conviction, this has a political context.
While the first batch is still being unloaded, the next train with Kazakh wheat is already on its way, making this route a continuous reality. And with that, the debate on the combination of economic benefit and political manipulation also continues. Anna Harutyunyan, ReOpen Media.